The work from home scenario is speeding up the shift to self-leadership and the need to develop brand me. This is a concept that I speak about in my business talks to teams and leadership in companies, and it's something that I unpack in detail in my new book, Future-Proof Yourself. So what does building brand me mean? Well, we live in this world of work from home, and it's highly likely to go on into the future. There's less micromanagement, and people have to now manage and direct themselves and their career trajectory. And this is actually a new thing, especially for those who work in corporates and have been used to being directed all the time. Whether you are employed or self-employed, this message is for you. Growing yourself as a brand of one has never been so important. People buy brands, people buy people. If you're employed, you need to develop the mindset of what we call an intrapreneur. That's somebody who is employed but thinks like an entrepreneur. Why is entrepreneurial thinking so valuable to an organization? Well, because entrepreneurs deliver what they promise. They are outputs driven. They do what it takes to get the job done. They're innovative, they're creative, and they're always looking for ways to add value. They're always adding quivers to their bow. How do you build yourself as a brand of one? Well, this starts with mindset. Consult to yourself as if you were a business. In my case, it's Brand Nikki Inc. So I need to sit across the table from myself and consult to myself as if I were a client. So that makes one actually say different things because you're far less emotionally invested, you're much more objective, and you make very different decisions when you see yourself in this light. Why not build yourself a website? So, we talk about a talent profile. A talent profile is actually a live CV, not that dead wooden piece of paper that says that you've got a driver's license, you speak 2 languages, etc. So if you were to build yourself a website, this would be a place where you could keep track of what you do or what you've done and your achievements, provide you with a platform to express your opinions and your expertise, to pull together all of your social media feeds if you have them, which you should have. And of course, people can get to know who you are. And that's important because in the future, if companies are going to start employing more brands of one, they're going to want to know who you are, not just what you can do. So you need to showcase your X factors for success. So if you were going to be in a job interview, you need to be able to answer these kinds of questions. Can you showcase a time when you were innovative or creative? Can you give us an example of how you operate as part of a team? What are your strengths? What are the gifts that you bring to a team? And what about your learning journey? How do you take charge of your learning journey? What are you doing voluntarily to improve yourself and upskill yourself? And this is a biggie because we're moving into the 4th industrial revolution and we're facing these twin disruptors at the moment of a global pandemic and automation. And how are you keeping up and pivoting and changing yourself up in order to keep up with this fast changing world? And then of course, how well do you know yourself? This is critical moving forward because this shows that you're interested in self, you're interested in your own development, and you will be able to perhaps adapt as things change. Then, as I've mentioned before, create a talent profile which showcases not just the what, but the who. This is a multimedia CV, and a website built around who you are would be very much part of your talent profile. And what about an elevator pitch? When someone bumps into you and says, oh, hey, hi, I'm so-and-so, who are you? This is what I do, what do you do? That's the elevator pitch where you've literally got about 60 seconds to get your message across for it to land and for somebody to actually take an interest in you. When you're a brand of one, whether you are an intrapreneur or an entrepreneur, you are always looking for opportunities to sell yourself into an organization so that they buy your services. This is how we stay in business. So we have to be interesting and interested. So what do I mean by an elevator pitch? Well, here's a summary. I am, I do, so that. You've got to be able to fill in the blanks. I am, I do, so that. So what does this mean in my case? So here's my example for myself, and I could say this in many different ways. This is just one way. I'm Nikki Bush, human potential and parenting expert. I deliver motivational business talks and develop programs for teams to help them to reframe disruption to win at both work and life. Yes, you do have to practice these things because it does need to roll off your tongue very easily, but it needs to beg the question from the other person, so how do you do that? Or so what? So that. To stimulate a conversation for them to want to get to know you more, to want to get to know what you do and how you could help them. So depending on whom I'm speaking to, whether it's a business owner or a corporate team leader or a parent or say a school principal, I would pitch that elevator speech very slightly differently, tweaking it to land for that particular person based on what they do, because then I'm far more likely to get a sale. So the question is, what makes you stand out from the crowd? What value are you adding? And what are you known for beyond your job description? And I leave you with these two questions to ask yourself about yourself. And I've already said them before, but I'm repeating them again because they really do deserve repeating. When you're talking about yourself and what you do and what you have to offer, you need to answer these questions. So what? So what? How does that make a difference in the world? So that, ... So what? So that. If you can't answer those questions, then you need to go back and re-look at that elevator speech so that it actually has legs. If this Start Right video added value to you, please hit the subscribe button below. And remember that as a business and motivational speaker, I help leadership and teams to raise their human potential for themselves, for those around them, and their children, all of whom form part of the human economic ecosystem.